Hey there everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome to Friday's spoiler discussion for Force of Will, the Return of the Dragon Emperor. Now today, I'm actually able to give you the spoilers on the actual day today, although I am feeling a little bit sick, so apologise if I'm not feeling like, if I'm not sounding too excited or whatever, or like too hype about these spoilers or whatever. I am actually excited for them, but I'm feeling just like a little bit icky and whatnot, so I still wanted to try and get the video out or whatever to try and like tell you guys what I thought about these spoilers. But I've got really bad stomach pains. I am literally sat here at my desk hugging a hot water bottle to my stomach because I am feeling rather poorly, so apologies if I don't sound as like hype and everything, but I am excited. Believe me when I say I am excited about these spoilers, because the majority of them are myths, and they have, or most of them seem to have, support for the myth subtype, so I am actually quite excited. So let's get into it. They are technically spoilers for Kaguya because they are blue-green spoilers, but they can work actually very well outside of her and with other rulers, I found. So basically we'll start off, we've got, I think it says Iaya or Aya, I'm not quite sure how you're meant to pronounce it. It looks like an E, it could be an F or whatever, but it does look like an E too. So Iaya, God of Water, he is a 4 cost, he is 2 water and 2 void. He's 1000 for attack, which is pretty good for a 4 cost. He's a myth. He has Barrier Resonator, which I feel like in terms of Barrier Resonator, it means he cannot be targeted or anything by a Resonator's ability, because I think that's what it means by Resonator, because obviously we've got like barrier for chance and whatnot and everything, so I feel like Barrier Resonator means he can be the target of an ability from a Resonator. He also gains 500, and this card cannot be blocked as long as you control 7 or more water magic stones, so I feel like he's mainly meant to be built for water, a mono water deck, because he also has a resonance with water magic stones, where when you call in a water magic stone, you draw a card. So that's actually a really nice way to include like a bit of resonance, and a good way to draw, because obviously blue is mainly about drawing. That's like the main kind of gimmick with that colour and whatnot, so I feel like it's a good resonance ability for him to have. Also, I kind of like how at the bottom it says Kaguya's prayer awoke ancient myths, so it seems like, well, we have a software update notification, but we're going to ignore that in the corner here as I click away from it. So I like how Kaguya seems to have awakened myths, whereas opposed to Milliam has the fairy tales and whatnot. So, and also he's got Dragon House now, so I actually quite like it. I also really like his design, like for like normally I feel like the god characters, or not the god characters, but you know what I mean, sometimes the really powerful buff like male resonators and whatnot, sometimes I don't like the look of them, but I actually really like how they designed him. He's really cute. I would definitely use him in like a mono water build or something like that. Next up we have Gilgamesh, the Immortal Hunter. He's also a 4-drop, but he's green this time. He's 2 wind and 2 void. He's 700 attack and 1000 defense, so he's slightly weaker than Aya or whatever. He's also a myth, but he comes with a really neat ability where as long as you control 3 or more treasury items, this card cannot be destroyed, which is obviously very nice for Kaguya and whatnot. I mean, you could potentially, if you're going to do like I feel like he'd be good for a mono wind one or whatever, because he gains plus 100 attack for each treasury item you control, which, you know, would be better for Kaguya, but he also comes with the resonance for wind magic stones, where you can produce an attribute of any colour. So I feel like you could easily maybe splash him into just like a mono green build, and then you could like run the green treasury items and whatnot, because I think the green one that we saw previously was still like pretty decent even on its own, so that is pretty nice. Also, the flavor text at the bottom makes me really sad, because it's like, Kaguya asked the man if there was a way to save a dead soul. The man answered that only undeath was possible for such a thing. So clearly Kaguya is like thinking about bringing feasting back to life, which as we know in Force of Will, trying to bring back the dead never works out very well. Like, look at Resard and whatnot. So I'm kind of fearful for what Kaguya is going to try and bring back feasting. Next up we have Spinning Myths, which is probably one of the most broken chants that we've ever had in the game. It is a 3 cost, it is 2 wind and 1 void. Not quite cast, but it doesn't need quite cast in all honesty. Put a myth resonator from your hand into your field. Torrent. Put the top card of your Magic Stone deck into your field. Now, first of all, the first part of it is ridiculous, because do you remember all those random myth characters that we got in Vingolf 3? We got Frigg, we got Odin, there's other myths like Izanagi and everything like that. Those are like beefy, costly resonators that happen to be myths that you could drop, potentially, depending on which ruler you're wearing, you could easily drop as early as turn 2, because obviously this is a 3 cost. If you've got your Energize, you've got an extra bit of green. If you've got Sacred Elf out, you've got an extra bit of green. So by turn 2, you could potentially bring in Izanagi. You could bring in, say, Odin. Odin, I think, would be a pretty good shout, because it means that you'd get double the will from everything you tap or whatever. So he'd be an amazing shout to have. Literally, as soon as I saw this card and the other myths, I am so tempted to build like a mono green, or at least a mainly mono green like feasting deck with like splashing in a little bit of elf support. I think it would be really, really cool, and like I'm trying to think of ways to brew around it. Hopefully we get to see some more myth support or whatever, because I really like the sound of it. So I'm feeling like a mono green feasting myth / elf build. Maybe have the 1-drop little red in there, because she gets obviously beefier with your windstones and everything. So I really like the idea of that. And next up we have potential for another saddest artwork award. We have Millennia Bond, which is a 2-drop quick cast chant. It's 1 water and 1 wind. You choose one. If you control a water G resonator or and another wind G resonator, you can choose both. Cancel target chant spell, draw a card, or put a treasury item with total cost 3 or less from your hand into your field, which is again a really good spell to have, considering it's only a 2 cost, and it's another way to cancel spells essentially. So it's a really good way, and also you get to draw a card from it. So this is like almost as good or maybe potentially better than Final Breeze or whatnot, although Final Breeze is the one that lets you make sure that they can't play anything else that turn. So maybe Final Breeze would be better, but at the same time you still get to put in a treasure item. So that could potentially be the treasure item resonator or whatever that we saw in the previous Kaguya spoiler. But also the flavor text at the bottom makes me really sad as well, because we have Feasting saying, Kaguya, I have lived long enough, look now to the future. And he's like, but promise me. Okay, but one day I'll bring you. No magic can truly save the dead. So literally it's called Feasting's final winds. Feasting is like in her last moments begging Kaguya, do not attempt to bring me back, because only bad things will happen. Like literally she's just like, I'm done, I've had enough, this world doesn't need me anymore, I'm gone. Like, and with the wind she would scatter, which is like really like sad to think about. It's like so heartbreaking. Obviously Kaguya, Tears of the Moon, it's so sad, and I pray to goodness Kaguya does not attempt to bring Feasting back, because I fear that bad things will happen if she attempts it, if she even tries it. Next up we have Manservant to the Water God, which I feel like is meant to go with like a mono water build, because it says here, treat this card as a water magic stone. So I feel, and it's a spirit, so it's a 2-drop 6/6. So this would work with Aya's, however you pronounce his name, his resonance ability, because it says treat this card as a water magic stone. Again, we can't produce water will from the stone, but what this means that when it enters, it triggers his resonance ability, because it says treat this as a water magic stone. So basically, when it enters and he's on the field, we get to draw a card, which is essentially what it is. Plus, it's a weird kind of dolphin cat looking thing, which is kind of adorable. And last but not least, we have Kaguya's Pictorial Scroll, which is a 3-cost edition, so that would work with Spinning Mists. It's an addition treasure item. When this card enters your field, remove the top 3 cards of your deck from the game face down. You may look at them at any time. You may play cards from your removed area that were removed by this card. So this is kind of similar in the same vein as the Lumia we got from Vingolf, except for this one, it's an addition. And as far as I'm aware, there's not a lot of addition hatred, at least that's currently in the meta that I can think of. Plus, we've obviously got Kaguya's addition, the Moon, that protects all other additions, so we don't really need to worry about it. It basically gives us a way to increase our hand size and whatnot, but at the same time, they're technically in our removed area. So I guess if you were up against Dark Alice, that would be kind of iffy, but I think Dark Alice has a stipulation where the cards have to be removed by her in order to carry on towards like her judgment and like her abilities on our flip side whenever you have Schrodinger and whatnot. So I feel like at least it's a little bit safe, because I believe the stipulation for Dark Alice is that they have to be removed by her. So if this edition removed cards, they wouldn't count towards her goals or whatever that she needs in order to do her fancy things and whatnot. So I think it's a really nice edition. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it compared to the other ones, because I feel like we're going to get a lot of treasure items and whatnot, because Kaguya needs them. So I'm curious to see what other, if we're going to get any more, or whether we've seen them all, because we've seen at least one water one green one, we've seen the Moon, we've seen the bird that's technically a treasure item, and now we've seen that scroll. So it's really interesting to see what treasure items we get and whatnot. But anyway, guys, these have been my thoughts on these spoilers and whatnot. Let me know down below what you think of the incredible myths, and I think, honestly, I am probably going to build some kind of myth-related deck and whatnot, because I love the idea of it, and I'm excited for it. It is such a shame that RDE isn't going to be legal for the Manchester GP. Otherwise, I might have actually changed my mind and decided to build a myth deck or whatever for it, but sadly, Return of the Dragon Emperor is not going to be legal for the GP and whatnot, so sadly can't, but potentially you're going to see me do some kind of myth-themed deck and whatnot, so I'm very excited for that. And guys, time is running out for you to enter my 400 subscriber playmat giveaway. I think we have reached not 200, I think we have reached 20 comments or whatever, so potentially giving away 2 playmats. But if you still want to enter, you've still got time. You've got till the end of February, which will be next week or whatever. So you've still got some time to enter. The link in the description down below for that video and whatnot, because you just need to comment there and make sure you're subscribed to enter and whatnot. And my Patreon is also there if you guys are interested in checking it out to see what tiers and that you can pledge to support the channel and whatnot. And I will see all you guys next time.